All right, week 3 of Sam's venture into Agricola.
Hey Lumen, hey everyone. Yep, I'm doing much better. Got some big improvements this week, I think.
Yeah, we were just mentioning that Sam played a game earlier today, and the note to me when you sent the results over was I filled up my point containers, which is excellent to hear.
I did. I watched your video, one of your strategy videos, which helped me clarify a lot of things. So yeah, you were talking about how 6 wood was one of the best actions in the game.
Right.
So I saw 6 wood on the board a couple of times. I was like, I don't really want to take this. I want to take something else, but I knew you'd tell me off if I didn't take it. So I
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, in my Twitch stream, there's an automated command, JFT6W, which stands for just effing take 6 wood.
Yeah, I did. I did, and I spent it all. I was like, yeah, okay, I can actually spend this. Wow.
Oh yeah, spending wood is easy. That's the easy part. Getting the wood's the hard part for sure. But yeah, cool. So we can go through this one where you dominated. You also sent me a win where you said you had some questions in the mid game. And then
Yeah.
one other thing we could do is just have you go through a game with me sending some thoughts through your head.
Yep. All of those ideas sound good.
Okay. Do you
What?
still do you like have the notes from your mid game questions?
Yeah, I'll remember them as we go.
Okay. So that's this one. Anything in particular I should be looking for besides the mid game here?
Uh, from memory, I think my early game was pretty solid in this game,
Okay.
but obviously you can disagree and tell me where I went wrong. Oh yeah, you won't like one of my early moves. I think you've already been through the replay.
Okay. Yeah. But we can get through this somewhat quickly.
So yeah, this was my first time going with like a day laborer
Okay. Yep.
combo.
It's definitely one of the assistant tiller fourth is just well okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is stupid strong. So that's fun that you get to use it for the first time.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty strong when I was using it.
Yeah,
I could just get all the fields, all the crops.
right. And yeah, you don't need childless if you're gonna do that.
I took it anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
So when you're going into a game with just the base cards, or just these 96 cards, what sort of score would you be happy with?
The score is still dependent
It's
on
dependent, right? Yeah.
yeah, but in a difficult game, um, low to mid 40s can win, and in a very strong game, you might have to get upper 50s. And strength of game depends on how much gets injected, how many resource gets added by cards and whatnot,
Yeah.
versus when the growth actions come out. I need to close this. Yeah, okay. So I'm seeing you not use your day labor combo, at least in round 1.
Yeah,
But
round one, I only had assistant tiller, so I was like, yeah, I
right.
can use
So when
it.
I get this kind of situation, I usually play seasonal worker first and then take day laborer as a 3 food move,
Okay.
expecting to eat the raw grain. But taking 3 food in round 1 gives you efficiency later because you don't have to take 3 or 4 food in round 3 or 4.
Okay.
But all right,
That move I think you won't like because
I
I
think
don't know if you know this,
the
but
move.
4 wood is a really awkward amount.
I mean, it's an amount you want to get multiple times, so there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with getting forward there. There were 2 forward actions on the board, but doing this is fine if you play Loam Pit very soon. And I think if I remember, you actually waited a long time to play it.
Yeah.
Um, there's a few reasons for that. But overall, this is okay. Just remember that if you're not going to use your day labor combo, you spent 2 actions in the early game playing the cards, but you haven't gotten a result out of it yet.
Yeah, I think I use it here and then a bit more later.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
It's possible I was just waiting for the whole combo to be set up and being a bit too greedy there.
Right, so that's a theme about Agricola combos, is that you want to still use them before they're fully set up, or else you're investing too much without enough time to get the benefits. But there's nothing super offensive about this. This all seems okay. Yeah, the first time I looked through, this game was pretty funny.
Funny.
Not for
Okay.
you, but Purple
But for the other
specifically.
players?
Specifically
Yeah.
Purple.
I knew from the start that purple wasn't going to be a threat.
But, like, imagine how good Purple's game would be with Childless, given what they ended up doing.
Mm.
I think it's pretty funny. So yeah, no problems yet. You're just doing the room parts. I mean, you have a card that makes it not awkward to get 4 wood at a time, right? You have Carpenter's Parlor.
Do I?
I thought you did. Maybe.
I
Oh
don't
no,
think
no,
I do.
you maybe passed it. Yeah, never mind. Red has it. Yeah, so Carpenter's Parlor 4 wood is definitely not awkward.
Yeah, true, yes, okay.
Yeah, and just let me know when you start having the questions. I assume everything's okay so far. We talked about this to not do that next time, but
Yeah.
now you know.
So, I don't know if you know this, but when you wish for a child, you get to play a minor improvement as well.
Yes.
That's something I've kind of forgot.
Okay, right. So the times you expect to play minor improvements are starting player and growing your family. And when you're renovating, if you don't have a major improvement in mind.
So when you're renovating, you'd always look to play major improvement.
Most of the time. I mean, sometimes it's better to play minor improvements if they're strong. Um, for example, Mantelpiece, you'll want to make sure you play as soon as you can after getting to your desired renovation level.
Right, yeah, of
So,
course.
Mantelpiece is something that makes a lot of sense to play on renovation. And then,
So you'll notice I took first player to get first growth, which I assume you're happy with.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But then I sort of ran out of minor improvements to play.
Okay, so here you have the Loam Pit available to you, right?
Yes.
I think a line you missed was getting the Loam Pit played and building the clay oven to feed yourself. Because,
Definitely.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the reason I didn't play Lone Pit was I was worried about my food.
I figured that must have been it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because
And I
obviously
took fishing,
it's
so
really sad to take 3 food when you could have 2 food, a crop, and a field. Arguably, you should be taking day labor anyway there, because
yeah.
you can just raw
Something I also forgot was you can just straight up exchange one grain for one
right,
food.
yeah, or a vegetable for 1 food. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's obviously a much stronger move because you get a
Yeah,
field
but
anyway.
like if you forget, then it doesn't make a huge difference. You're probably going there 3 more times this game anyway, so.
Yeah.
And then later in the game, I don't think it's as relevant. I think you took a 2 stone action when you had a 6 clay action available for you.
Yeah, with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But okay, yeah. So
I,
you've grown first. You're about to get 6 wood.
yeah, I don't think I ever used hard porcelain,
Yeah,
is it?
I think you didn't. Yeah. So let me know when the moment comes
Oh,
to
yes,
pause.
yeah. So that was one of the questions. What should I be playing there? Obviously, hard porcelain was not the answer.
Uh, yeah. So Lone Pit was the answer because trying to get this to pause. Lone Pit's the answer because you can build the clay oven to feed yourself.
Oh,
I would have probably built the clay oven a round or two before growing to have the food already when you're growing. Does that
yep,
make
it
sense?
makes a lot of
Okay.
sense. Yes, of course.
And then, yeah, I mean, you have some very strong minor improvements here, right? You can play both of these.
Yeah, I like loom. Did I have wood at the time? I think I didn't. Is the only
Well, you
thing.
just took
Maybe I did.
6, and you got 1 from the round space, so correct. You did not have the wood for loom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hard porcelain's okay. The thing is, when you have 2 ways to spend clay in unnatural ways, you really want to be getting that loam pit down to inject some back into the
Yeah,
game.
to get the
Yeah.
clay. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so here, this is a great time to sow some fields. It's a great time to get wood and build fences, or you can go build rooms. Building rooms is probably not the right play because you have a bunch of empty rooms at the table. A bunch of people have empty rooms at your table, so
Yeah.
doing farming things when you have such efficient farming is a good path to go down here.
Yeah. Obviously, you talked about sowing at the end of this round.
Yeah, at the
Before
end of
before
stage
this
3.
harvest.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Curious amount of fencing to do, but space for some breeding animals.
Yeah. So I can
Oh, and
build
then you
two
got,
more.
I forgot about this. Yeah, you got completely wrecked by Lasso doing Lasso things. Because this is a good idea, but yeah, no telling when somebody's going to use Lasso crazy. Okay, I think you could have definitely greeted out the 6 wood.
Yeah. That was another one of the themes in your video. Like, if you take food early, you can do any action you want during like the last few turns of the round. But here, I felt like forced to take the food because I was going to starve.
Okay, but again, this was, what was it, 3 or 4 food? And you have 2 plus a crop here.
Yeah.
But I mean, you accomplished a big goal here. You got 2 grain and a veg field sown in stage 3. That's awesome. And you have space for animals, even though the player in front of you might be just taking them to eat them.
Yeah. So that was actually that was one of the questions. How often are you going to have people just taking animals to cook them? Because this game, I struggled to get animals big time.
Right. So that happens a lot more at lower level tables.
Yeah.
But at higher level tables, you have to watch out for players taking the animals to breed them in front of you. So you still have to try to time your fences well enough and hope that other people are busy with other stuff.
Yeah. So like here, he's got a pig. He's cooking animals. I'm like,
Right.
where are my animals?
Yeah, if the player in front of you is hungry with a lasso, I mean, there's no promises that you'll ever really get animals, unfortunately.
I think I had to sadly take like one of each at the end.
I mean, that's often what happens when someone goes down this road.
Yeah.
It's a sad road for them, too, so, you know. Alright, so here, I think an oven is best.
Yeah. So would you say it's too late for Loam Pit or just oven is just
No,
better?
no, not at all. You're still gonna ping it 2 or 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So that's 6 clay and a point. and your clay is flexible. It's very flexible. But the oven would have been a lot better for your food tempo.
Trying to remember if I built an oven. I must. I have to, right?
You could probably live with a cooking hearth, except they're both taken. Yeah, but anyway, I was just saying purple could have childless and be getting like a veg and a food every round.
Yeah.
Because they're not fighting for growth here. So here's your chance to get breeding animals. You were going to stone.
Kinda,
Oh, do you have plow
yeah.
driver? Yeah, you're going to
No,
plow driver, right?
I don't think I have plow driver.
My memory says you have a plow driver.
Okay. I'm not sure if I built. Maybe I do.
Yeah.
I don't really need to. Would you even suggest, so say I do go to stone right now, would you even suggest playing plow driver?
No. No. You
Yeah,
have a
because
much
I already
better
have
plow
enough
action.
fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do get the oven though.
Okay.
That's
There's the
pretty
oven.
necessary. That's good stuff. More day labor, more fun. I like that field spot.
I was very tempted to take first player again.
Seems fine to do it here. I mean, there's a 50-50 shot you don't get the one you want, but
Yeah. That's actually what happens in the next game.
okay. Feel like you've won the 50-50 gamble a few times early in your Agricola career.
I was probably swaying my values of everything. It's like, yeah, taking first player, you always get urgent wish.
Okay, yeah, you would have lost here. But now you actually have a really good minor improvement to play because you waited for that second wood to come in. But given that you have loom in hand, last round not taking the two sheep is going to hurt a little.
Yeah.
Look at all these chumps taking wood. You already have all you need.
See, it was my master plan. By playing House Steward early, I made them all fight for rooms.
Yeah, you baited them into it.
Actually, one common theme you'll see in all my games so far is I only go to 3 rooms.
Okay. So
I find it really hard to expand further than the 1 room and then get food as well, and everything else.
yes, there's definitely a tightrope act involved on bigger families. Or you have something like seasonal worker assistant tiller. You get grain in the ground very early and build your oven early. And then maybe you have a bread paddle also to bake when you play occupations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with a bigger family, you want some really strong food engines. Yeah, this is the 2 stone I was sad to see, because you've got
Yeah, obviously the clay.
that's
the
a 4
brick.
stone move over there, or 2 stone, 2 food, and a crop in a field. Yeah, day labor is just like a powerhouse for you when you have this setup. I don't know if I answered enough questions that you had in the mid game, as we're now.
Yeah, no, I think we're covered.
Okay.
I
So,
I don't even remember what I used this 2 stone for.
That's fine. The pottery's still available. Pottery makes a lot of sense for you to take. I'll just go to the end of the game fast. Oh, well. Pottery. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, 47, you didn't even have to fence again. You have, yeah, you got a maximum pottery there.
Yeah, so one cow, one sheep,
4
but
pigs, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, 47's definitely a good score for double late growth. This is, on average, the lowest scoring game for the table is when Wish for Children's flip double late. So,
Yeah, so obviously it's going to lead to overall lower scores
right.
because of less actions, yeah.
And you didn't even get your 3 House Steward points, but the reason your score is so good is because you have just this absolute powerhouse of a day labor action.
Yeah, so it's making my actions much more efficient.
Right. All right. Shall we look at your other game here?
Yeah, quickly go over that. I played that last night, so I have a much better memory of it.
Sounds good.
So I made sure to take draft the day laborer stuff away, just to
Okay.
make sure no one else got the combos.
And probably at this table, not too many people are likely to play Childless too effectively.
Yeah. So at a high level table, you just take childless.
Yeah. With the full draft 10, I think the seasonal worker is defensible, trying to hit a combo. I think that's defensible. Okay, do you want to talk about draft decisions or no?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
So you don't like thick forest, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, there's some stuff I think you missed. Yeah, seasonal ram clay, totally fine.
Mm-hmm. These minor improvements, I was not sure at all what to take.
This looks good. Cottagers definitely opening up combo potential. You want to remember the rough cast. Well, this is like really silly to talk about. It's a very specific combo. But there's a card that gives you food when you build clay rooms in the previous pack. That's usually really bad. But with Cottager, it's good if you find Loam Pit. It's like the one situation it's good. Okay, so here I would not be picking Plow Driver. I would be picking Priest and Mantelpiece. Priest and Mantelpiece have some synergy with each other. And
yep, obviously you want to get to clay and I have cottager.
Cottager is the only way to renovate fast. But yeah, I think you're sitting in the second seat for this game. So the likelihood you're able to take Resource Market followed by 2 clay, somewhat reasonable. And then you could play Cottager, renovate in round 2, and be able to play Mantelpiece or Priest in round 3.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a specific combo.
That's a very early renovation.
Yes.
Holy crap! I wasn't even thinking like round 3.
Yep. I mean, it's not something you need to do now, but at high levels of Agricola, you want to think about what is the maximum output of this card and how likely is it that I can get there.
Yeah, that's actually that's really strong because you get the stone for mantelpiece, you get the reed and the clay. Yeah, okay, I see it now.
2 moves. But yeah, I mean, you're still learning the game. No reason to know it already.
Okay,
yeah,
what do you think of clay hut builder?
Oh yeah, I love it with Cottager and Ram Clay. I think that's a great fit. That's absolutely the card I would pick here. Yeah, because if you don't use this for clay rooms, you can use it for fences.
Yeah, that was the idea.
I mean, 10 fence pieces is a lot. that's a huge bonus. Yeah, so this is the clay room builder,
Yeah.
and the worst thing about this card is that you have to build your rooms one at a time, but you're gonna do that anyway. So it's very specific combo, but
So you would take it here, or would you just take childless because it's still there?
I don't think you need childless here. Well, to be honest, it's a little unclear what you're doing once you go cottager, plow driver, clay hut builder. I guess you're building one room, then getting to stone, using clay hut builder for fence pieces, and then using sleeping corner to help you grow late.
Not exactly.
Okay, that's what I would be thinking with this current hand.
So in the end, I pretty much just ignore cottager and seasonal worker.
If you have childless, then that's fine too. I mean, childless plow driver is a great harmonious pair of cards too. This pick is fine. No other occupation was worth anything. Yeah, and then priest is still fine, but priest and childless have some pretty anti-synergy.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure which path I was going down, but I took it just in case.
Yeah, and then threshing board, you're not likely to use its function, but a wood to a point is still okay. Any specific parts of the game?
Okay. So this guy just played the resource market
Yep.
occupation. So I just took resource market.
Okay.
In part to block him, but in part because I also wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, you should always want it, especially with early Stonehouse strategies. Because, again, thinking about, like, the best possible thing is getting resource market, like, 3 to 4 times early.
Yeah.
One read. Are you thinking about doing childless or not?
Yeah, so in this game I end up playing childless.
Okay. Let's see how quickly you get
I
it
get
down.
I get a pretty early room.
Okay, good. Ooh, not getting 3 wood's a bit of a bummer here.
Yeah, so I end up playing childless.
Okay,
here.
that's fine. That's fine.
I think my second action is just take one read.
That sounds good. Especially if red doesn't take the top left wood space. Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah, so I'm getting my wood, I'm building my room.
Yep, perfect. Yep, that works great. Very high level tables might not let you get away with that, but this is fine. No, this is a very good start here. No complaints from me at all.
And in the next round, I take traveling players at 4 food.
Sounds good. Because you don't have immediate food, right? You're eventually going to have crops, but right now that's all for later, abstractly.
Yeah.
Grain food, very good.
I remembered what you said. I made sure to take 2 grain.
Yep. Grain's the early game crop. 3 wood's a good action. 4 clay is also fine. At this point, I would be trying to predict what strategy purple specifically is doing, because they're doing some slightly odd actions.
Do you have a strategy in mind that they're doing, or are you just unsure?
So they took 4 reed, got up to 4 reed, and
Yeah.
have a stonecutter played. So what I'm expecting is that they're taking their time trying to like maximize discounts of a couple cards. So there's a minor improvement that costs 2 stone, but for them will cost 1 stone. And
Lumber mill.
right, lumber mill, and that'll let every improvement cost 1 wood less. And then they might play carpenter's parlor for free, saving a wood and a stone. And that would line up with their resources.
My assumption at this time was they just plan on building lots of rooms to compete for house steward.
That's a good default assumption, yeah. Also, a little interesting to note, Red has set up 3 viable ways to get some food. The fireplace is the best one because sheep came early.
Yeah.
First
Yeah, so they're
fireplace,
always
early
going to
sheep.
stack up, yeah.
Yeah, so like wasting 2 wood on a canoe and playing storehouse keeper, this doesn't quite make as much sense. I think the storehouse keeper is probably fine, but the canoe really doesn't fit.
Yeah.
That 2 wood is gonna be a pain to recover later, is my prediction. Just go to resource market again. Okay, I guess my prediction was probably wrong.
He really likes reed.
Yeah, I mean, it still could be carpenter's parlor and trying to build 3 rooms at once. Yeah,
Okay,
starting
so
player's okay.
it's like a 50-50, right? Hoping to get first growth. Even though it's not something I need to take with childless.
Right, because childless basically says it's a hedge against growing later.
Yeah.
So rammed clay is definitely something you're going to want out early. Mining hammer would have also been fine to play. You have a few minor improvements you want to play somewhat early with rammed clay, mining hammer, butter churn. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, that was my thought. Like, I want to play these minor improvements anyway.
Yeah, I think in that sense it's fine. These are pretty solid minor improvements. But if there was a bigger wood action or your minor improvements were worse, I think it probably would be wrong to start player there.
Yeah.
Okay, just a plain room from purple. My guesses are destroyed. Red doesn't need this. At this point, red is acting like they don't want the pile of sheep. They're not prioritizing it. So, especially when you're growing first, you should have in the back of your mind, maybe red will miss the sheep, or let me steal the sheep or something like that. And actually, yeah, here's what happens. Yeah, green takes the cookery and your start player. So, all right, here you force yourself.
That is a lot of sheep.
Yeah, you force yourself into taking start player again, but again, the miners you have are worth it. So this is what I don't like. I think taking wood here is not a cohesive plan. Unless you're betting that purple needs to take a food move.
Okay, yeah. Go on.
So, taking start player to grow first, I think is fine because you have 3 minor improvements that would work early. The ram clay, the mining hammer, and the butter churn.
Yep.
But to take a 50-50 shot on growing first, and then be okay
and then ignore it.
growing fourth in a late growth game, I don't think that's very consistent. So
I was worried about spending too many of my actions on the meeting place.
Right.
Even though my minor improvements are okay.
Right. So that's something you should be deciding last round. Either you're willing to take meeting place twice in a row, or you're not. And if you're not, then
don't bother.
Don't take it then. Take it now.
Okay.
Because you don't know if a player that takes the 50-50 shot will refuse to, for some reason, take meeting place next time. weird stuff happens. So here you're not giving yourself much of a chance for weird stuff to happen, unless, with what I was saying, I would project green to care about the sheep, more about meeting place, and it's possible purple will be worried about food more than meeting place. If you think that's true, then this is fine.
That was not going through my head at the time.
This is just weird for them to let you take meeting place second action if you want it. This is okay.
It's okay if I build a room?
No, not for a room. I would be doing this to get renovation parts.
Okay, yeah. My plan is to renovate.
Yep, and you're going to want 2 more stone and 2 more reed, but your access to resource market is questionable with resource market guy right in front of you. So that's why I think not trying too hard for 2 resource markets and just taking 2 reed now, taking 2 stone later is probably fine. Alright, we see a very early stone renovation there. Mantelpiece, okay. Oh boy. Fences, huh? Misclick?
Yeah.
It was misclick. There's the carpenter's parlor.
I was kind of worried about purple going into the game. Because
They're
they were
rated pretty high.
Yeah, well, not super high, but like double me.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they had a fair idea. They knew what they were doing.
Even at my level, plenty of mistakes get made. So I think you're noticing a lot of like suboptimal play by other players. So
Definitely.
like, yeah, even 400 level players, 500 level players, I think make large strategical errors sometimes. Okay, but this renovation's good. Play oven's fine. Right, so basically the result of your going to meeting place once and then not the second time is that you basically spent an action to play rammed clay.
Yeah, and I should be much further behind in the Wish for Children.
Oh yeah,
But
what is
they
that
let me
about?
have it.
What is that about? Yeah, you got away with one here. Also, I was going to say this earlier and forgot.
Yep.
Rammed clay might not have been the best minor improvement at the time. Mining hammer, as you were planning to renovate somewhat quickly, or butter churn because you have a few ox coming out. Probably not 4 ox though. So probably mining hammer is what I would have gone with instead of rammed clay.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got to play Mining Hammer.
Okay.
Which is sad because I could have used it.
Yeah, a couple stables. Alright, nice manservant. Oh, the reedstone food is to have food to play the occupation. Yeah, so purple's big strategic error is just trying to use manservant as a food engine. It's not.
It looks like a pretty good food engine.
It's half a food engine. But a full food engine it is not.
But think about it, Lumen. If you don't grow, you don't need the extra food.
That's completely true, Sam. That is absolutely true. Some big brain gaming. Alright, the plow driver play is fine, though your stone disappeared. What stone are you going to renovate with?
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe too far in the future.
I didn't notice what else was available when you played plow driver. It's possible this was totally fine. Okay, improvements. Not growing. Yeah, this player wants a childless. And you're getting 6 wood. That's pretty cool for going 4th.
Yeah, I was quite proud of that.
Okay, yeah. Seems good.
So I just completely fence out and take sheep.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot. There goes the well. Yep, looking good.
Would you just do all 15 fence there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and a common theme. Plenty of empty rooms at the table. So, a thing I've noticed is that I don't know if I've seen you play an early growth game yet.
Early growth is in
Wish for
it.
Children comes out in round 5.
Yeah, so I got kind of saved here because our child was running the whole time it wasn't available.
Mm-hmm. So you've seen the best part of Childless a few times now. You've seen Plow Driver work out. You've seen day labor combos work out. All these things that give you like fake extra actions. Like actions you might do with the person if you didn't have a card doing them. And that stuff is just really good in action type games. So if we get into an early growth game, maybe you could see why people like to build a lot of rooms and think it brings them success. Because it does if Wish for Children flips early.
Yeah, you just have that many extra actions.
Right. The game goes quite differently in a lot of ways.
So if you were to look at the score of a random room, would you be able to tell how early Childless came out?
Wish for Children.
Yeah. Sorry, Wish for Children.
If I knew their elos, then yeah, I'd be able to guess with, 50+% accuracy. At least for the base set of cards. The most recent.
The base set of cards, is that like playing with training wheels on for you?
For me, it is, yeah. Because now that there are around 500 cards programmed, the drafts can be very wildly different in terms of if there's a lot of plows or no plows at all, if there's a ton of wood support or no wood support at all. I played a game on stream today where, late game rounds were going start player takes 3 wood, second player takes 2 wood, third player wishes they could have taken 2 wood.
Jeez.
So this is great here. You've got fences, nobody else does. People have enough food to not instantly snipe piles of animals, and you're just getting to jam animals into your pastures.
Yeah, just made sure to take all the animals before harvest.
Yep, excellent. Looks like you'll be able to eat one of each and not lose any points. 3 harvests left, and you're on the quote unquote wrong parity of point thresholds for all of them.
Yeah, I think I ate a couple.
Yep. Should be no problem doing that. Sewing's okay. I would have considered buying Fireplace.
Okay. So my main reason was I wanted to bake bread to get the food, and then also have my vegetables. Just make sure to have 2 of them before the last harvest.
Yeah, that's okay. This move is fine. Your butter churn is giving you passive food, so the Fireplace will help you eat these animals that you're about to like run out of space for. You're within like 1 or 2 animals of maximum capacity right now after this breeding.
Yeah, I didn't want to eat them, the poor things.
I mean, if you're already at, I mean, you have 2 points of every animal already. Actually, you had that before the harvest started.
Yeah, so I can just eat them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good spot to be in. Animals are not typically a category that you get 4-4-4 in. And I assume you've been seeing that.
Yeah, they get taken away quickly.
Yep, they're too useful to eat. So I don't know if this is like touching a nerve if you're like vegetarian or vegan or something.
No, no, no. I'll eat the animals.
What's this reedstone food for?
Okay, it gets a bit awkward here.
Okay.
I have ambitions of building.
A stone room.
No, can you go to the major improvements? I was like, I'm gonna get a stone oven.
Okay.
Then it gets taken away.
Okay.
Then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get. Sorry, has pottery already been taken away?
Yes.
Interesting. At some point in time, I wanted to get pottery, but it got
Okay.
taken.
It looks like it got recently taken. Very
Yeah.
recently.
Then I wanted to take stone oven
Uh-huh.
because it's like 3 points. It's another bake action.
Sure.
But yeah, that doesn't end up eventuating.
Right.
So
So
it's
here,
kind of a waste here.
here I think cultivation is a pretty clear move. Basically, everyone at the table is going to be happy to take it because at worst it's a field, and everyone
Right.
except purple can sow. Your plow driver is only giving you 2 more fields, so you have space to plow a couple more.
Okay. My thinking at the time was, I don't think people are really going to want to take this because they have very few crops,
Mm-hmm.
even though it is an extra plow action as well.
Right. The extra crop sometimes doesn't matter. I would say the field doesn't matter if everyone's already at like 3 or 4 fields. But here there's plenty of desire for more fields. Though these 2 players want wood. Or not. Hedgekeeper? Yeah, I missed Hedgekeeper.
Next round, I also consider. So, actually, a question:
Uh-huh.
Can you take fencing if you have 15 fences?
You cannot.
Okay. So I was thinking of taking fencing to deny them fencing actions.
Right. If you want to attempt that in future games, you need to incomplete fences. So, like, forget this
Yeah.
little fence, or fence 13 covering 6 spaces, or some other mostly full fences. That can be a good tactical move late in games to put yourself above someone else.
Okay, this time I took first player to get Urgent Wish.
Yep, that looks guaranteed. Beanfield's definitely good to play. No reason you can't play that. Don't want to play that. No reason to play that. Yep, Beanfield's great. No, for the most part, this looks pretty smooth. You got what you wanted. You're not going to have trouble getting any categories here. This grain's a little sketchy.
I took it to get max points, so it's really only a 1-point move.
Right.
Because my plan is to cultivate just before the last harvest.
Okay, you think you're going to get Urgent Wish and Cultivation. Which
I mean,
might be a good guess based on how last round went.
In round 14, I plan
okay.
to cultivate.
Yeah, sure. Or just green utilization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
One of the two.
Yep. Can't really fault that. There wasn't too much to do for you there. Yeah, this round I would be trying to notice at the end if one of these stone actions goes untaken. Because you're 4 stone away from being able to use your stone and reed for a room.
Right, to build another room.
And you're going to want to build stables also, if possible. So this should be cultivation or meeting place. Or the hearth. Hearth is fine. Late grocer. Alright, I don't know how much more. We need to slow down here. Yeah, I mean, you have such a clear lead from all your good farming, getting animals.
Yeah, so I think this round I take 3 wood
Sure, yep.
for 2 stables.
Okay, I like it. I wonder if you do get the chance to do stone room shenanigans.
It may have been an option, but yeah, you know, three rooms, that's enough for me.
Yep, yep. Often is if you can do this good on farming. But I do think cultivation would be fine here. It's a point or two worse than doing it first next round. But the difference between a first action of a round and a last action of a round is also a value difference. So. Yeah, cultivation looks like it'll be great here. Maximum points.
So I'm still first player.
Yep.
I take Urgent Wish again.
First move?
First move.
Okay, so let's talk about the points.
Yeah, so it's 3 points. I'm banking on either cultivation or grain utilization being available for second action.
Okay. A little risky. I can tell you that if you pass on cultivation, green is
Green should take it.
probably. Green is also in an awkward spot where they need defense. And red can fence, but they prefer renovation with fences.
Yeah, so I looked at. I didn't think red was likely to take it. I didn't think purple can't take it.
Purple can't take green utilization, right? And
Yeah,
I
red
think I
doesn't
agree
really
that
want
red
it.
probably doesn't want it very much. but I think you have good enough things to do with your 4 actions to where risking cultivation is not worth it.
So you just take cultivation
I would
first.
take cultivation here. So it means you need to feed 1 less food in the harvest. I haven't done the math on your food. It's probably enough either way. Butter churn and extra pig, or sorry, just extra cow. But yeah, so cultivation on its own is worth 2 points for the field, 1 field point, 1 space covered up.
Yeah.
You're taking your grain points from 1 to 4, so that's 3 points. And you're taking your vegetable points from 2 to 4. So this is a 7-point move compared to
over 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about the 3-point move is that if you manage to get 4 stone, I mean, I don't blame you for not seeing this option, but if
Yeah,
you
I can obviously build a room.
build a room with those stables, yeah. And there's your 3-point move. Do you restart?
No. Oh, okay. I just straight up take cultivation first.
Okay, no, that's right. Cool.
Okay, I'm glad I recognized that at the time.
And you were thinking about taking Urgent Wish because you got it second.
Yeah, I don't know how I managed to get it second.
Well, the thing about Urgent Wish in the last round is that it doesn't come with any extra actions for the rest of the game.
Yeah, but still, 3 points is
It's a good
nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not, but you have 2 3-point moves.
Yeah, so taking the stone and building another room, much better efficiency.
Only in the specific situation where you have the resources that you do.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the 4 stone, you have a 4 wood move for a 2-point add-on to the 2 stables. I do not like this move. This move is less than 1 point.
Yeah, that was silly.
And that's because you need 2 boar for 6 food.
At the time, I was like, I don't really know what else to do with this action.
Okay.
I'll just secure my food.
Okay, and hopefully.
Yeah, I already had enough.
Yeah, you have multiple point actions on the board. 2 more stables at the least. But
yeah, I really like the stone move. I'm disappointed I didn't see it.
It's not the most natural thing to see. I mean, you've grown to 5 people. Why are you building another room?
Yeah, I'm going there anyway though. So
right, that's the thing that gets you to realize it. But that kind of thing is kind of rare. Well, overall, this looks like a very good game. Did you try super hard to get anything accomplished? Not really. I think you just did a bunch of good things, and
yeah, it just felt natural.
Right. No, this is great. It's cool to see you execute a childless plus plow driver game plan. That's really nice. It's not the easiest game plan, but it is not usually what I would have a beginner try. I think I mentioned that last week. Like
building tons of rooms just doesn't feel natural to me. Like,
right.
Would you say that's something beginners try to do a lot? Just build rooms. Build rooms and grow.
That's the best way to win like local home games of Agricola. Is build aggressively. Because a lot of players don't have the skill to defeat a player with action advantage, with serious action advantage, who's reasonably good at taking things from the board. But having more actions means you control which accumulation spaces are big when.
Yeah.
Among other things. So yeah, should get you some practice with abusing some action advantage. I think that's the next big step for you.
We can give it a go.
Yep, sure.